Admittedly, I was never huge on seafood before going vegan. I would always stick to fish, mostly salmon and tilapia. I do recall having lobster towards the end of my omnivore days, which kind of made me curious about the product that we're going to be testing out today, Gardein crab cakes. So good to be seen, and it's even better to see what's going on. I hope you're doing well and staying safe. Welcome back to another episode of Vegan Food Review. In case we're meeting for the first time, my name is Francis, and I happen to be a photographer and videographer based out of sunny San Juan, Puerto Rico. But I'm also a vegan advocate, and today we're going to be putting our cameras down and talking about a little product called Gardein crab cakes. I picked these up at what most people would call a traditional chain grocery store, so if you've got one in your neck of the woods, chances are very high that they carry these in their freezers. As with most vegan food reviews, I like to discuss 5 talking points, and they are packaging, ingredients, nutritional facts, taste and texture, and finally the price. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Number 1 is packaging. Gardein took the liberty of putting together a resealable bag, which I always find convenient. In case you're like me and you don't feel like cooking them all at once, you could always zip it right up and save some for later. The teal coloring on the front reminds me of the way I like to edit my pictures, which is kind of fun to me. The image on the front looked inviting, and if I must say so myself, played a huge role into me giving these a shot. The picture on the open crab cakes is enticing, and the sauce definitely gives me that dipping feeling. Happy to see the word vegan on the front, of course, and it's comforting to know that these crab cakes are actually non-GMO. Number 2 is ingredients. These crab cakes are made primarily from wheat, soy, and chickpea protein, all plant-based, but hey, that goes without saying. Other ingredients are bell peppers, green onions, vinegar, tapioca, and lemon juice. This portion of the video is pretty straightforward, so I'll leave the info on the screen so that you can pause the screen if you have to and see if there are any ingredients to which you might actually be allergic. Number 3 is nutrition. There are about 3.5 servings per bag, with each one being about 3 pieces. In case you're counting, each serving represents 140 calories of your daily value, and as you can expect, there's no cholesterol in plant-based foods, which is always great. Total fat is about 6 grams, while total carbs are at 13 grams. I will say this, however, it's a little high in sodium, comprising 14% of your DV, but hey, on the other hand, it's got 9 grams of protein, which is absolute bonkers, so just 3 bites. I hope that answered the question, but where do you get your protein, bro? Number 4 is taste and texture. There are a number of options you can use to get the best final product for these crab cakes, and I personally went for the air fryer. Threw these in for about 16 minutes, cooked at 400 degrees. After I pulled them out, I let them sit for a couple of minutes, only to see that they were golden brown and their texture was very flaky. Very similar to actual crab cakes. They were crunchy on the outside and soft in the middle, just as advertised. I seriously recommend cooking these in the air fryer if you have one. If not, any other feature will do. They came out perfectly in my opinion, and as far as flavor is concerned, I feel I was getting a genuine taste of seafood, even though I personally never had crab cakes before actually going vegan. I can't, however, imagine that it's that much different from eating lobster, with which I'm actually very familiar. Number 5 is price. Like I said earlier, I got these at a local chain store here in Puerto Rico called Supermax. They carry all sorts of Gardein products, and I went online to check them out. They were retailing for a measly $5, which I think is extremely reasonable considering the average person would get at least 2 to 3 servings out of this. This would make a great addition to a plate full of delicious sides like rice and beans, potatoes, or anything else you can think of. So what's my final verdict? I give these a solid 9.5 because although the texture and taste was excellent, I feel it could have been using a little bit more lemon juice. Now granted, it's something that most people use afterwards, but hey, I'm being picky, I suppose. I dipped these in homemade tartar sauce, and I bet 95% of you watching out there couldn't tell the difference between this and the real thing. And that begs the question, if you can eat crab cakes without any crabs dying, why wouldn't you? Take their pictures, not their life. So that's going to do it for me. If you've been convinced to give these a try, hooked you up with the link in the description so that you can order some for yourself. In case I helped you make a better purchasing decision, stick that thumb you know where, and if you want to see more food reviews like this one, stick around by subscribing. I would love to have you. My name is Francis, and I will see you in the next one.